It's May 3rd, 2018. Behind me is the famous or infamous, depending upon your perspective, Biosphere 2, a few miles north of Tucson, Arizona. Funded and built by the Bass brothers from Texas in the early days, and ultimately, after a series of misadventures, it became property of the University of Arizona, the institution which now administers and conducts experiments here. What's interesting is the original idea, which was to house 8 biospherians inside the 3.15 acres known as Biosphere 2, with a variety of ecosystems built in, what they called biomes. 5 different biomes ranging from desert to tropical forest to ocean. And as you might expect, things started to fall apart rather quickly on 2 fronts. The ecosystem response was much different than expected, so that a lack of oxygen threatened the humans who were living inside. And worse than that, probably, because that was a technical problem that could be overcome and was overcome. So worse than that problem was the problem of human dynamics. You stick 5 people in, or rather 8 people in 3.15 acres. They're working together shoulder to shoulder every day. They're in there for 2 years. You can imagine the kind of relationships that developed and then that disintegrated, and then that developed and then that disintegrated. So when you only have 8 people, even if you do open the airlocks every couple of weeks, less than that actually on average for the full 2 years, for things like chocolate bars and other necessities of life, but you're spending essentially all of your time 24 hours a day with you and 7 other people who at the beginning you barely know, that were selected for their skills, medical doctor, shrink, I imagine agricultural specialists and so on. Well, it's not hard to see how that would turn out. Too few people, too small a space, forced interaction with each other day in and day out. You know, I'd like to think that at the edge of extinction only love remains. But in this place, apparently that was the last thing left. Perhaps, with 7.6 billion people on the planet, perhaps at the edge of extinction, only love remains.